Former President Jacob Zuma will finally get his day in court.
It's been a number of years now that the former president has had these charges hanging over his head. On numerous occasions, Zuma has told South Africans that he wishes to have his day in court like any ordinary citizen.
On Friday, the director of National Prosecuting Authority announced that Zuma will face 16 charges relating to fraud, corruption and racketeering. The charges relate to a 30 billion rand government arms deal in the late 1990s.
After consideration of the matter, I am of the view that there are reasonable prospects of a successful prosecution of Mr. Zuma on the charges listed in the indictment served on Mr. Zuma prior to the termination of the matter. I am of the view that a trial court would be the most appropriate forum for these issues to be ventilated and to be decided upon.
This move follows the ruling last year by the Supreme Court of Appeal, which set aside the 2009 decision to withdraw the case against the former president. A team of 5 senior state prosecutors spent 4 weeks studying Zuma's reasons why he should not have his day in court after submitting them at the end of January.
Mr. Zuma's matter has passed through the hands of all national directors, acting national directors and deputy national directors of public prosecutions in one way or another since the investigation into Mr. Zuma's alleged unlawful conduct first commenced.
The prosecution's boss has already informed the former president.
The Director of Public Prosecutions, KwaZulu-Natal, will facilitate the necessary processes for Mr. Zuma and his co-accused to appear in court.
It's understood that more than 200 witnesses have already confirmed their availability to testify once Zuma's case goes on trial. The governing ANC says it has noted the decision. Other opposition parties welcomed it. Yolisa, Njamela, CGTN, Pretoria, South Africa.
Let's discuss this further with Sumitra Naidu, who joins us live from Johannesburg. Sumitra, it's official. Jacob Zuma will be prosecuted for various corruption charges. What has been the reaction to this announcement?
Well, Penina, just going through social media this afternoon after that announcement, there's been an overwhelming response from ordinary South Africans, really just saying, finally. Many are cheering this evening, a sigh of relief and victory for some, like the opposition parties, were fought ferociously in getting this case reopened. And there's a sense of justice being served. Of course, it's still early and the former president hasn't been prosecuted. He's yet to have his day in court. But for many, the fact that he is going to court, there's a feeling, there's a sense that there's still justice. So much has happened over the years, especially when you look at the fact that poverty is rising, so much money was involved, dodgy dealings over the years. It does feel like the time has come for Zuma to face the music. There was little market reaction. The Rand too was more concerned with international events, but opposition parties have said they're welcoming the decision, and the ANC reiterated its confidence in the criminal justice system.
Sumitra, these corruption allegations have dogged Zuma for almost a decade. We know in 2009 those charges were quashed by the High Court. So how did we get here?
Well, Penina, this actually goes back way more than 10 years, all the way back to around 2003, when the former president was then the deputy president. The National Director of Public Prosecutions at the time, Bulelani Ngcuka, made an announcement that there was a prima facie case of corruption against Zuma. The NPA, though, then declined to prosecute because it was such a complex case, and he didn't think that the state could win the case. In 2005, the NPA hired auditing firm KPMG to conduct a forensic accounting investigation before the start of the trial of Zuma's financial advisor, Schabir Shaik. Shaik was then convicted on fraud and corruption charges in 2005, but Zuma was let off the hook. Then there was the rape trial, and then the announcement today pertains to the 18 charges and, of course, the 16 charges which have been announced today.